Now, back in August 2017, I made a video titled "Why is Hip Hop Sleeping on Denzel Curry?" You might actually remember this video. If you're a hardcore Denzel Curry fan, I can guarantee you've definitely seen this one. Pretty much the entire point of this video was to find out why is hip hop sleeping on Denzel Curry. I'd like to credit myself as one of the people who brought that very relevant but not so discussed conversation to the surface, because after that video, I strongly remember how that particular conversation became a heavily discussed topic. But of course, that video was released more than a year and 2 months ago, which means a lot of things has changed for Denzel. As you can see from the title, one of the things I strongly believe in now is the fact that Denzel Curry is not slept on anymore. So let's actually talk about this. I want to take a look at a couple things Denzel himself said on Twitter a couple weeks ago regarding this topic, and this is what he said. "Saying I'm underrated is becoming overrated. I'd rather you say I'm great or I'm garbage. I could have sworn we got past the Denzel Curry slept on phase. My job is to provide the product. Your job is to spread it. Simple if you ask me. Don't wait for me to die to be on my dick." Now, as you can see, this is Denzel kind of just speaking very freely regarding this whole slept on topic, and it's very clear to me how he really feels about it. First of all, let's define what slept on actually means, because there's a lot of different ways you could interpret it, but let me give you my own interpretation of it. So for example, let's say a rapper is slept on. What the slept on label tells us is that that particular rapper is not being considered in the conversation. Specifically, I'm talking about the conversation of the best lyrical rappers of this generation. At least for a couple years now, people like J. Cole and Kendrick Lamar have been the go-to lyrical rappers when it comes to the quote-unquote new guys, because obviously at one point both of these rappers were new names in the rap industry. They've been a household name in the genre of hip-hop for a solid 6 to 7 years now. I'd personally say that Kendrick became an essential rapper to the culture when he released Good Kid, Mad City, which was back in 2012. On the other hand, J. Cole made his I'm Here to Stay mark in 2013 when he released Born Sinner. And ever since then, they've always been the two rappers who get mentioned when we're talking about the best lyrical rappers. Until JID or JID, until Vince Staples, until, and most importantly of all, Denzel Curry. The point I'm trying to make here is Denzel is actually being considered in the conversation now, so how could you be considered in the conversation but still be slept on? Just like Denzel himself said, it's very clear to me that he's gone past the Denzel Curry slept on phase. But then again, one thing I really want him to realize is, and I'm pretty sure he does, is the fact that those comments are obviously out of love. I think the way he sees it himself though is, I'm doing everything I can to get out of that underrated box, but how do you expect me to be great when you're constantly undervaluing my true skill by calling me underrated? Because to keep it real, in a sense, calling someone in his position underrated and slept on is more of an insult than compliment. He's been doing everything in his power to reach that new level of greatness, but is still being held to the low standard of being underrated. I think there's gonna come a time in his career, and hopefully that soon, where calling him slept on will be nothing but blasphemy. I think it's extremely hard to ignore the amount of attention and love Denzel Curry is really getting if you really think about it, and that's why I think Denzel Curry is not slept on anymore. But I want to know what you personally have to say about this. This is a very big discussion, and I'm pretty sure you have a lot to say about it. When it comes to the whole Denzel Curry is slept on and underrated conversation, is that something you still think is relevant? From your perspective, do you think he still is slept on, or are you on the other side and do you agree with me when I say that he's not slept on anymore? Definitely let me know in the comment section below, and let's have a discussion about this.